Power and fame can make people do unbelievable things. For some R&B icons, that meant using their influence to cover up shocking behavior and silence anyone who dared to speak out. We have stories about non-disclosure agreements, hiding terrible accusations, and deleted tweets that revealed a truly disturbing mindset. The cover-ups stop today. 1. R. Many people remember Aaliyah, spelled A-A-L-I-Y-A-H, as a beautiful and talented singer who was taken from the world way too soon. In the early 90s, she was a rising star, and the famous musician R. Kelly was her mentor. He produced her first album, which was appropriately titled Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. They were seen everywhere together, but they always said their relationship was strictly professional. He was the wise teacher, and she was the gifted student. That was the story they told the world, but the truth was far more disturbing. You see, what many overlooked is that behind the scenes, something very serious was happening. In 1994, a marriage certificate was discovered. It stated that Robert Kelly, who was 27 years old at the time, had married Aaliyah Houghton. The most shocking part of the document was the age listed for the bride. The certificate claimed Aaliyah was 18 years old, but that was a lie. In reality, Aaliyah was only 15. The document was a fake, a piece of paper created to hide a secret that was not just scandalous, but illegal. When the story broke, both of their teams went into overdrive to deny it. The marriage was quickly annulled, a legal term for erased, and they both went on with their lives, never speaking of it publicly. For years, the scandal was just a whisper, a dark rumor that many fans chose to ignore. But the proof was always there, a shocking secret that a powerful man tried to hide. A secret marriage is a massive scandal, but it's nothing compared to a music mogul who was accused of having wild parties where the guests were put in very uncomfortable situations. 2. Diddy's disturbing parties. Sean Combs, known to the world as Diddy or Puff Daddy, is a true giant of the music industry. He built an empire from the ground up, creating Bad Boy Records and launching the careers of superstars like the notorious B.I.G. and Mary J. Blige. He is known for his incredible wealth, his flashy lifestyle, and his legendary parties. For years, an invitation to one of Diddy's parties was the hottest ticket in town. They were known to be wild events, filled with famous faces and non-stop celebration. But over time, a darker picture began to emerge. Whispers started to spread that these parties were not as innocent as they seemed. Former employees and guests began to tell stories about strange events that happened behind closed doors. These stories involved something called freak-offs, where guests were allegedly pressured into doing things they were not comfortable with. The thing nobody tells you is that these situations were often fueled by a party atmosphere where people's guards were down. To put it mildly, the most unsettling part of these accusations involved secret recordings. Several lawsuits have claimed that Diddy had hidden cameras set up throughout his homes, filming intimate moments without anyone's knowledge or consent. People believed they were in private rooms, but they were allegedly being watched and recorded. These claims paint a picture of a man using his power and his home to control and manipulate people. It's a shocking accusation that turns the image of a fun-loving party host into something much more sinister. The idea of being secretly filmed is terrifying, but it's a different kind of horror when a star's private aggression becomes a matter of public record, something our next artist knows all too well. 3. Chris Brown's pattern of silence. Chris Brown burst onto the music scene as a teenager with a smooth voice and incredible dance moves. He was compared to legends like Michael Jackson and seemed destined for a long and celebrated career. He had hit after hit, and fans loved his energetic performances. For a while, he was the golden boy of R&B, a charming and talented artist with a bright future. But that image was shattered by a very public incident of aggression against his then-girlfriend, the superstar Rihanna. The photos of her bruised face were impossible to ignore and became a major news story around the world. While this event was widely reported, what many people don't know is that it was not an isolated incident. Over the years, a pattern of troubling behavior has followed Chris Brown, involving multiple accusations of assault from different women. The real scandal here is how these incidents were kept out of the headlines. You see, instead of these cases going to a public court, they were often handled quietly. Behind the scenes, Brown allegedly used his immense wealth to pay for secret settlements. This means he would pay a large amount of money to the person making the accusation, and in return, they would sign a legal document agreeing not to talk about what happened. This is a way for wealthy individuals to avoid public scandal and legal trouble. While one major incident became public knowledge, several others were quietly swept under the rug with money and legal papers, keeping the full extent of the accusations hidden from his fans. Keeping things quiet with money is one tactic, but our next story involves a star whose own bad habits contributed to the tragic downfall of his famous wife. 4. Bobby Brown's influence on Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston was more than a singer. She was the voice. Her incredible talent was a gift to the world, and she became one of the best-selling artists of all time. She was seen as an elegant and graceful superstar. In 1992, she married R&B bad boy Bobby Brown. Their relationship was intense and passionate, and it was constantly in the news. Many people were fascinated by the pairing of the pop princess and the rebellious singer. Publicly, their marriage was often portrayed as a wild romance, but behind the scenes, a much sadder story was unfolding. Bobby Brown had long struggled with his own bad habits and substance abuse issues, problems that he often tried to downplay or hide from the public. What many overlooked is that his personal struggles began to have a deep and damaging effect on Whitney. Before their relationship, Whitney Houston had a relatively clean image. But during their 14-year marriage, she began a severe downward spiral. The hidden scandal is the belief held by many of Whitney's family and friends that Bobby Brown was the one who introduced her to the harder, more dangerous substances that would ultimately consume her life. While Whitney was responsible for her own choices, many believe that Bobby's influence created a toxic environment where her own problems grew out of control. It was a secret kept within their inner circle for years. The tragic passing of Whitney Houston from an overdose was a global shock, but for those who knew the couple, it was the heartbreaking conclusion to a story of hidden addictions and dangerous influence. A toxic relationship can destroy lives, but sometimes the toxicity is one-sided, as we'll see with a singer who allegedly used legal documents to silence his partners. 5. Trey Songz and the non-disclosure agreements. Trey Songz built his career on being a smooth and romantic R&B singer. His songs are often about loving and respecting women, and he created a public personality as a perfect gentleman. He sold millions of records and was a heartthrob for fans around the world. His image was carefully crafted to be charming and non-threatening. But a very different story has been told by multiple women who have accused him of serious misconduct. Over the years, a number of women have come forward with disturbing allegations of aggressive and non-consensual encounters. These stories paint a picture that is the complete opposite of his public image. The accusations are serious and have come from many different people over a long period of time. So, why haven't these stories become a bigger scandal? The hidden truth may lie in a powerful legal tool, the non-disclosure agreement, or NDA. According to several reports and lawsuits, Trey Songz would often have women sign these documents. An NDA is a contract that legally forbids a person from speaking about their experiences with another person. If they break the agreement, they can be sued for huge amounts of money. Critics argue that these documents are used by powerful men to silence victims and hide a pattern of bad behavior. By using NDAs, a star can ensure that their darkest secrets stay buried. allowing them to maintain their clean public image while the stories of those they allegedly hurt are never heard. Using legal documents to hide the truth is one thing, but our next star exposed his own shocking beliefs for the whole world to see in a series of deleted messages. 6. CeeLo Green's shocking tweets. CeeLo Green, spelled C-E-E-L-O, is known for his unique voice and his quirky, fun-loving personality. As part of the group Gnarls Barkley, he had a massive global hit with the song Crazy. Later, he became even more famous as a coach on the popular TV show The Voice. He was seen as a friendly, larger-than-life character in his spinning red chair. But in 2014, the public saw a very different and disturbing side of CeeLo Green. He was involved in a legal case where a woman accused him of giving her a substance without her knowledge and then having an intimate encounter with her. The most serious charges were eventually dropped due to a lack of evidence. But he did plead no contest to a lesser charge. The case was messy, but the real scandal came afterward. Following the court case, CeeLo Green took to social media and posted a series of truly shocking messages. In these tweets, he shared his own twisted definition of what a non-consensual encounter is. He wrote that if someone is unconscious, they cannot be a victim because, in his words, people who have really been victims remember. He was essentially arguing that an unconscious person could not be wronged. The public backlash was immediate and intense. People were horrified by his comments. Realizing his mistake, he quickly deleted the tweets and issued an apology. But the damage was done. For a brief moment, he had revealed a dark and disturbing mindset, a secret belief that he quickly tried to hide, but not before the whole world had seen it. A disturbing mindset is one thing, but a hidden health condition that leads to multi-million-dollar lawsuits is a scandal on a whole other level. 7. Usher's health diagnosis lawsuits. Usher is a true R&B superstar. From his early days as a teen sensation to his status as a global icon, he has dominated the charts for decades. He is known for his smooth vocals, incredible dance moves, and his charismatic personality. He has sold over 80 million records worldwide, making him one of the best-selling music artists of all time. He is a legend in the industry. However, in 2017, a scandal erupted that threatened to tarnish his carefully crafted image. Legal documents were leaked to the press that revealed something very personal about the singer. The documents showed that Usher had paid a woman a settlement of over $1 million back in 2012. The reason for the payment was that he had allegedly transmitted a virus to her during their intimate relationship. The papers stated that he had been diagnosed with the herpes virus. The scandal was not that he had the virus, which is a common condition. The scandal was that he allegedly hid his diagnosis from his partners. Soon after the first story broke, several other people, both men and women, came forward with their own lawsuits, making similar claims. They all said that they had intimate relations with Usher and that he never once told them about his condition, putting them at risk without their knowledge. One lawsuit demanded $20 million in damages. The lawsuits painted a picture of betrayal and deceit, suggesting that the superstar knowingly concealed a major health secret from the people he was closest to. Hiding a health secret from a partner is a deep betrayal, but not as shocking as a husband stealing millions from his superstar wife. As we will see next. 8. Mary J. Blige's financial heartbreak. Mary J. Blige is rightfully called the Queen of Hip-Hop Soul. Her music is known for its raw emotion and honesty. She sings about pain, struggle, and survival, and her powerful voice has earned her millions of devoted fans and numerous Grammy Awards. For many years, her husband, Martin Kendu Isaacs, spelled Kendu, was also her manager. They were seen as a power couple in the music industry. Their marriage seemed strong from the outside, but it all came crashing down in 2016 when Mary filed for divorce. As the legal proceedings began, a truly shocking story of financial betrayal was revealed. Mary J. Blige accused her husband of misusing her money in unbelievable ways. She claimed that while he was her husband and manager, he was spending her hard-earned money on his new girlfriend. The numbers were staggering. Court documents revealed that Kendu had spent over $420,000 of her money on travel charges that were not for business, but for his affair. To make matters worse, after their split, he demanded an outrageous amount of spousal support. He asked for nearly $130,000 a month, arguing that he was used to their lavish lifestyle. He wanted her to pay for his fancy cars, his personal chef, and even his charitable donations. The scandal was a stunning look at how her trust was broken. With the man who was supposed to be her partner and protector secretly using her wealth to fund his own separate life. Financial betrayal is painful, but our next story involves a star whose affair led to public shame and a very difficult personal choice. 9. Fantasia Barrino's complicated affair. Fantasia Barrino, known simply as Fantasia, won the hearts of millions when she was crowned the winner of the third season of American Idol. Her powerful, soulful voice and her emotional life story resonated with people everywhere. She seemed to be living a real-life Cinderella story, going from a struggling single mother to a celebrated music star. But her personal life soon became very complicated and the subject of a major scandal. In 2010, Fantasia was named in the divorce papers of a married man named Antoine Cook. The man's wife sued him for divorce, and she claimed that his relationship with Fantasia was the reason their marriage ended. The story became a messy public spectacle, with Fantasia being labeled a homewrecker. The situation took an even more heartbreaking turn when Fantasia revealed the full extent of the story. She admitted that during her relationship with the married man, she had become pregnant. Faced with the public shame of the affair and the personal turmoil it was causing, she made the incredibly difficult choice to have a secret medical procedure to end the pregnancy. She later confessed that the stress and guilt from the situation became so overwhelming that she reached a point of deep despair. It was a dark period that she tried to hide from the public, a painful secret behind the powerful voice that fans had grown to love. A secret relationship is one thing, but our next story involves a star who says her powerful ex-boyfriend tried to destroy her career after their relationship ended. 10. K. Michelle's fight against a powerful ex. K. Michelle is a singer known for her powerful voice and her brutally honest personality. She became famous not just for her music, but also for being a star on the reality TV show Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. On the show, she was never afraid to speak her mind, and she often talked about a past abusive relationship with a powerful music executive. For a long time, she never named the person who she claimed had hurt her. She would only refer to him as a powerful figure in the industry. But the hidden scandal came to light when the identity of the man was revealed to be a record executive known as Memphitz, spelled M-E-M-F-I-T-Z, K. Michelle claimed that during their relationship, he was physically aggressive with her, but the abuse didn't stop there. The thing nobody tells you is how power can be used to silence someone. K. Michelle alleged that after she left him, Memphitz used his powerful position in the music industry to ruin her career. She claimed that he blacklisted her, telling record labels not to sign her and radio stations not to play her music. For a time, it worked. Her career stalled, and she struggled to find work. It was a secret campaign to destroy her livelihood, all because she had left him. Memphitz denied the claims and even sued her for defamation. But K. Michelle stood by her story, shining a light on how powerful people in the music industry can try to hide their actions by destroying the careers of those who speak out against them. A powerful man trying to control a woman is a scary story. And our next one involves a marriage that looked perfect on TV, but was secretly falling apart. 11. Tamar Braxton's hidden marital problems. Tamar Braxton, the fiery and talented younger sister of R&B legend Toni Braxton, is a star in her own right. She is a singer, a talk show host, and a reality television personality. For years, she and her husband, record executive Vince Herbert, starred in their own reality show called Tamar and Vince. On the show, they presented themselves as a loving, if sometimes bickering, couple who were deeply in love and partners in business. To the millions of people who watched their show, they seemed to have a strong marriage. They had a son together and built a successful brand as a couple. But the image they showed the world was hiding a much more painful reality. In 2017, fans were shocked when Tamar filed for divorce after nearly 9 years of marriage. Soon after, the hidden scandals started to come out. Tamar and her family began to reveal that the marriage was not the happy union it appeared to be on television. There were allegations of emotional abuse and infidelity. Things got so bad that on Christmas Day in 2017, Tamar publicly accused another woman of being pregnant with Vince's child. She also claimed that there had been incidents of physical aggression that were never shown on camera. The whole story was a shocking contrast to the life they had been selling to their audience. It was a reminder that what we see on reality TV is often a carefully edited version of the truth, designed to hide the heartbreaking secrets that exist when the cameras are turned off. A marriage ending in betrayal is always sad, but our next story features a betrayal so personal and permanent, it's hard to believe. 12. Ne-Yo's shocking betrayal. Ne-Yo is a Grammy-winning singer and songwriter, known for his smooth voice and his incredible ability to write hit songs for himself and other superstars. He crafted an image as a romantic and devoted family man. For several years, he was engaged to Monyetta Shaw, and they had 2 children together. They seemed like a happy, stable couple. Their relationship came to an end, and they both said it was a mutual decision. But years later, Monyetta revealed the shocking secret that had been hidden from the public. She explained that during their relationship, they had decided together that they were done having children. Ne-Yo was very clear that he did not want any more kids. Based on this mutual decision, Monyetta made a permanent choice and had a medical procedure done to ensure she could not have any more children. She did this, believing it was what they both wanted for their future. The ultimate betrayal came after they broke up. Ne-Yo went on to marry another woman, Crystal Renee, and then proceeded to have 3 more children with her. Monyetta was blindsided. She had made an irreversible decision about her own body based on a promise from Ne-Yo. It was a deeply personal and heartbreaking secret. A story of a woman who was deceived into making a life-altering choice by the man she trusted. A betrayal this personal is devastating. And our next story also involves a star who was betrayed while in a very vulnerable state. 13. Ciara's leaked texts. About Future. The R&B singer Ciara and the rapper Future were once a hip-hop power couple. Their relationship was very public. They got engaged in 2013, and in early 2014, they had a son together. Their fans were excited about their future wedding and their beautiful new family. Ciara often spoke publicly about how happy she was and how excited she was to be a mother and a wife. But just 3 months after their son was born, the engagement was suddenly called off. The couple split up, and fans were left wondering what could have possibly gone wrong so quickly. At first, they were quiet about the reasons for the breakup, trying to handle things privately. But the secret scandal was exposed in a very modern way, through leaked text messages. Screenshots of conversations allegedly between Future and another woman began to circulate online. These messages seemed to prove that he had been cheating on Ciara throughout her pregnancy. The texts were intimate and showed an ongoing affair. The timing was what made the scandal so shocking. The idea that he was betraying her trust while she was carrying their child was a heartbreaking revelation for her fans. The leaked texts were a brutal and public confirmation of his infidelity. a secret he tried to keep but was exposed for the whole world to see. It was a shocking look into the private pain of a new mother who was being deceived during one of the most vulnerable times in her life. A partner's betrayal is awful, but what about a father's betrayal of his own daughter's trust? 14. T.I.'s invasion of his daughter's privacy. The rapper and actor T.I., whose real name is Clifford Harris, has cultivated an image as a tough guy with a strong sense of family. He and his wife, Tamika "Tiny" Harris, even had a reality show called T.I. and Tiny: The Family Hustle, which portrayed him as a strict but loving father. He often talked about the importance of protecting his children, especially his daughters. But in 2019, he revealed a secret practice that caused a massive public outcry and was widely seen as a shocking invasion of his daughter's privacy. During an interview on a podcast, T.I. proudly stated that he accompanies his oldest daughter, Deja, to her yearly gynecologist appointments. But he didn't stop there. He went on to say that he makes the doctor check to see if she is still a virgin. He even made his daughter sign a waiver, allowing the doctor to share her private medical information with him directly. He told a story about going to the doctor's office right after her 18th birthday to check on her status. The public reaction was immediate and overwhelmingly negative. People were horrified that a father would be so controlling and would disregard his adult daughter's right to medical privacy. It was seen as a form of control and a deep betrayal of trust. T.I. seemed to think he was just being a protective father, but in reality, he was revealing a secret family practice that was deeply disturbing to the public. A father controlling his daughter is shocking, but our next star was secretly struggling with her own mind while trying to maintain the image of a perfect marriage. 15. Mariah Carey's hidden struggles. Mariah Carey is one of the most successful female artists of all time. She is a global icon, known for her incredible 5-octave vocal range, her chart-topping hits, and her glamorous diva personality. In 2008, she surprised the world with her whirlwind romance and marriage to actor and host Nick Cannon. They had a fairy tale wedding and later welcomed twins. On the surface, they appeared to be a happy and loving couple. They would renew their vows every year in extravagant ceremonies and often spoke about their love for each other in interviews. Mariah's public life seemed to be a perfect dream, but the thing nobody tells you is that behind the perfect image, Mariah was secretly struggling. Years after her marriage to Nick Cannon ended, she revealed that she had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. She explained that she had been living in denial and isolation for years, terrified that someone would expose her condition and it would ruin her career. During her marriage, she experienced episodes of depression and mania, but she hid her pain from the public. She was trying to be a wife, a mother, and a global superstar, all while dealing with a serious mental health challenge that she felt she had to keep completely secret. It's a powerful reminder that even the biggest stars can be fighting silent battles that the world knows nothing about. Hiding a personal struggle is one thing, but hiding the fact that your relationship started as an affair is a scandal that's hard to keep secret forever. 16. Alicia Keys' relationship with Swizz Beatz. Alicia Keys is a 15-time Grammy winner who is known for her soulful voice, her incredible piano skills, and her positive, empowering message. She often sings about love and relationships with a sense of maturity and grace. When she began her relationship with the super producer Swizz Beatz, they quickly became one of music's most celebrated couples. But the beginning of their love story was shrouded in scandal. You see, when Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz started their relationship, he was still a married man. He was married to another singer named Mashonda, and they had a son together. For a long time, Alicia and Swizz denied that their relationship was an affair. They tried to control the story, suggesting that his marriage was already over before she came into the picture. However, Swizz Beatz's ex-wife, Mashonda, told a very different story. She publicly accused Alicia Keys of being the reason her family fell apart. She wrote open letters on social media, and eventually even wrote a book about the experience of being cheated on and having to co-parent with the woman who she says destroyed her marriage. For years, Alicia Keys tried to hide from the homewrecker label, rarely speaking about the timeline of her relationship. The scandal was a complicated love triangle that showed a different side to the graceful and poised image Alicia Keys had built. The beginning of their relationship was a secret they tried to rewrite. Trying to hide the truth about a relationship is one thing, but trying to hide changes to your own face is another, as our next star found out. 17. Lil' Kim's changing appearance. Lil' Kim is a trailblazer. In the 90 seconds, she burst onto the hip-hop scene with a style and an attitude that no one had ever seen before. She was bold, colorful, and unapologetic. She changed the game for female rappers and is considered a fashion icon. Her early look was iconic and celebrated by her fans. But over the years, fans started to notice a dramatic change in her appearance. With each new public appearance, her face looked different. Her nose appeared smaller, her cheekbones higher, and her skin tone lighter. The changes were so significant that she became almost unrecognizable from the woman who had first become famous. For a long time, Lil' Kim refused to talk about it. She would avoid questions about plastic surgery and try to hide the extent of her transformation. The hidden scandal wasn't just that she was having procedures done, but the heartbreaking reason why. In a later interview, she finally opened up about her struggles. She revealed that she had very low self-esteem, which was made worse by being in abusive relationships. She said that the men in her life would cheat on her with women who had more European features, making her feel like she was not good enough. Her changing face was a reflection of her inner pain and a desperate attempt to feel beautiful in a world that she felt didn't value her natural appearance. It was a sad secret she hid for years, a story of industry pressure and personal heartbreak. The pressure to look a certain way is intense, but our next legend faced pressure of a different kind after a physical run-in with a fan.